It's finally happened for the first time this season. Royal Challengers Bangalore are not at the bottom of the table. That, after registering their third straight win now with a total of 8 points, have gone a step ahead of Rajasthan Royals. Now, this is how the game panned out. Bengaluru batting first, 202 for 4 in their 20 overs, all down to 82 not out by AB de Villiers. The spinners for Kings 11 Punjab were really stand out. But then, while they came out to bat, Nicholas Pooran now making a comeback into the team, getting the 46, but no one apart from that. You had Umesh Yadav picking up 3 wickets, sort of a comeback for him as well. With me, Ajit Agarkar and Sean Tate. We'll start with the way RCB death bowlers performed. I'm just going to talk about Umesh Yadav in particular. He needed a performance like this, especially after those heartbreaking last few overs he bowled, which resulted in losses.
Yeah, I mean, at least trusted his stock ball, most of it at least. Had some real floaters, slower balls, which I still can't understand why guys do that. I mean, Saini, exceptional over, that 19th over, just came and bowled quick and trusted himself to bowl fast. Again, Umesh needed that game. I think those runs on the board do help at the end of the day, and by picking wickets regularly, RCB kept themselves in it. But good finish is exactly what their bowlers needed, because it's been a tough season. As far as death bowling is concerned for them.
It wasn't going to be easy for them, especially with Dale Steyn out, and then you had Saudi coming in, Umesh Yadav not in great form. Saini was the only exception up until now. I know 202 sounds very good, but on this ground, it was still possible.
Yeah, it was definitely still possible. They just probably lacked that guy to go on with it. You know, a 46 from Pooran, not a bad knock. But yeah, just lacking that guy that goes on to get an 80, 90 sort of thing. So I think all in all, when it really counts at the death, they bowled quite well. They stuck to those good heavy lengths. Even Stoinis, when he bowled, they good length through here. They obviously summed up the conditions quite well from when they batted and just kept it pretty simple.
I'm just looking at the difference between the two bowling sides. Do you think that now came into play? Kings 11 going with just 5 bowlers, and you had RCB, they've used their 7 bowlers. I mean, there are days when one isn't doing well. You got Moeen Ali then to fill in those overs. That may have helped.
Yeah, but I think also the finish that RCB had with Stoinis and AB de Villiers. I think whether a 6 bowler could have stopped them, you don't quite know. I think till then they had the game pretty much in control. I mean, 185. They've got to 185 in spite of losing comfortably. So, and it didn't look at one point that RCB would get more than the 180, 170, 180. So that would have been fine. So I don't think necessarily the 6 bowler. It's always good to have that option. But I don't know whether the 6 bowler would have actually helped the way AB and Stoinis finished, which exactly what Kings 11 needed. That sort of finish. And Miller again disappointing. For someone who's as experienced as he is. He's played some match-winning knocks over the years, but not enough, in my opinion, for a top-order batsman.
Okay, that takes me to our next point, because he talks about Miller. We're looking at the Kings 11 batsmen not being able to finish it off. I know Gale didn't have a great game, but at one point they'd crossed the 100-run mark, were at in touch with the run rate, 9 wickets in, and from there on you expected them to win.
I don't know if I didn't expect them to win. There's no doubt about that. But I mean, 200 odd is a decent score. It's hard to chase down. And once Gale, we spoke about that at the start. Once Gale gets out, it was always going to be tough from there. They had chances. Absolutely had their chances. No doubt about that. And messed up. David Miller probably didn't get going. He didn't get in the rhythm hitting the ball. If he got going, things might have been a bit different.
Because he's got the game for it.
Absolutely. He's got the 4, hasn't he? But he's just not quite into it at the moment. And then I think the bowlers bowl well too. So.
We'll take a look at the phase-wise of Kings 11 Punjab. How is it that the innings panned out? It looked like rather good to begin with. As you can see in the first 6 overs, they got those 68 runs at a run rate of 11.3. Of course, those were the power play overs. And from there on, they tried to consolidate in the 7 to 15, losing 2 wickets. But even then, till you had KL Rahul on the crease, you had hope. You think that was the turning point, him getting out?
I think so. In hindsight now, I mean, obviously Chris Gale's wicket. Chris Gale bats 5 or 6 overs or 7 overs. I think Kings 11 probably end up winning this game. Rahul's wicket then becomes that much important. Looked really good again. Soft you could call it, but the ball was there to be hit. And he can comfortably clear the ground. Got to the pitch, just one of those mistimed shots which couldn't clear the field. So not a bad shot. The ball was there to be hit. Probably have to give credit to Moeen Ali for making him play that shot or trying to go for the big shot. But I mean, if you look at the entire game now, that's probably turning point. Because at that stage, they were well on course. And with wickets in hand, and someone like Rahul, at the end we saw maybe Nicholas Pooran struggle a little bit with some of the seamers trying to hit the big shots off them. Maybe it was a one-off, and we'll have to wait and see. But Rahul could have actually got the job done if he was there.
Talking about turning points, as we're saying, KL Rahul's dismissal probably was one, but you have to look at the way RCB finished their innings as well. And we're going to take a closer look at that Superman, AB de Villiers. He was really, really crucial for them to have gone to 202. At one point, it didn't seem like that. 64 runs coming off just the last 3 overs, almost 48 runs off the last 2 overs. We're looking at turning points. We spoke about this in the mid-innings. The game was done there.
Absolutely. He was fantastic. He was good in the field too. Took some good catches. But a lot of guys are dropping him nowadays. He's hanging on to a few good ones. But,
sorry to cut you off. This is the most runs this IPL in the last 2 overs. 48 we're looking at. And not just this season. This is across all IPLs.
Right. Okay, there you go. That's the difference, isn't it? That's it. They smashed him everywhere in those last few overs.
80 off last 5.
That's ridiculous. It's seriously good going. That's the game right there. The bowlers didn't quite get it right. A lot of slot balls, a lot of fluffy side balls, not proper ones. They'll know that. They'll go away and try and be better next time, the bowlers, I'm sure.
Okay. The other thing is, if you really needed to stem the flow of runs, you needed Mohammad Shami to be firing. He's been their mainstay. That wasn't the day for him.
Yeah, got hit for a couple of sixes by AB. AB's done that too. A lot of bowlers around the world. But of just nothing slow balls. His strength has been to come either hit the deck or bowl full Yorkers. He's got the speed, he's got the form and the confidence to do that. So I'm not quite sure what the reason was behind bowling those slower balls, which is not your strength. You'd rather, when you are up against a batsman of AB's caliber and who's set, you'd rather back your strengths and hope it works for you rather than try and go away from your strength. So. You can have those days in T20 cricket. You are not bound. You're bound to have those days in a competition which is 14 games. Hopefully, it doesn't affect him in the longer term because he's been really good, Shami.
Yeah. What was the difference today? Was it the fact that you had AB de Villiers at the other end, no matter who the bowler, he would have gone out, or was it an off day, one of those rare off days for Mohammad Shami?
Oh, look, it was a bit of both. It was certainly an off day for Shami. Didn't look confident in his death bowling like he normally does. But the thing is, you're right. You've got a guy like AB there, and things do change. Mentally, you change in your mind. It's like, okay, this guy, if I don't get it right, he can really do some damage. Possibly the best at it in the world or close to it. So that does change, I suppose, a little bit. You get a bit more wary. But a mix of both. I think it was a mix of both. Yeah.
Okay. Keep harping about that fact of them playing 3 spinners. I'm going to go back to that fact about Mujib because it's worked rather well for Kings 11. They've done it in the past. It worked rather well. This time chose not to do it. Got in that extra fast bowler. Hasn't worked out.
Yeah, I think it's condition specific. Who would they leave out? Willian.
Yeah,
I think
but the 2 spinners did rather well.
That's hindsight. Traditionally, spinners are not. Chahal had a tough day today.
So I think last game he had a tough game as well.
Yeah, it's a tough venue for anyone to bowl. And if the ball doesn't grip, you've got to give credit to both the Ashwins that they bowled well. Doesn't mean another spinner would have worked. Kings 11 just have to bowl a bit better. They didn't have the best night. They looked well on course till Rahul was in. They could have chased that down. They would have fancied to chase that down on this ground. Yeah. Unfortunately, weren't good enough, and RCB better than them.
All right, because we keep talking about that last bait, that surge that RCB had. I'm just going to go at the start of the innings. That knock by Parthiv Patel, especially losing Virat Kohli early, getting those 43 in just 24 deliveries.
Oh, very important, absolutely. Especially at the top there, the fielders are up. You got to have one of your opening batsmen got to get after it, and he did that well. I think last couple of games he looked pretty good actually. This last little period here.
Some great shots.
We were certainly talking about leaving him out the side not long. But he's lifted his game. He's done well. He's took a good catch tonight as well behind the stumps. So. Good.
All right. Also, probably it works the combination. As we were talking, Virat has to shoulder the responsibility. Maybe he's been given that sort of open role, just go for it right from the word go, or is it just the way that Parthiv plays, irrespective of who the partner is at the other end?
Yeah, I think that's his game. I think he's got to maximize what he gets in the 6 overs because he's had a couple of decent innings even when he's sort of survived after the first 6, but doesn't have that big power game. So with the field in, played some great shots today. Some really spectacular shots. Not too many, not all of bad balls. Which there was a flick towards square leg.
For a 6.
Yeah, it was incredible. I mean, he just took the onus on himself, and that sort of start always helps. Was 70 of the first 6 is always going to put you in a position, if you can finish well, to get a big score.
Okay, we'll take a look at the points table now. What has that done? It has certainly made one change. Rajasthan Royals have gone right at the bottom. Royal Challengers Bangalore now at the second last spot in the points table. But just look at that. Kolkata there, tied the same number of points, but Bengaluru, Sean, when IPL started, Kolkata started rather well. Who would have thought at one point you would have had these two teams tied on points?
Yeah, I know. It's true. I mean, Kolkata have really been in a slump, haven't they? And then obviously Bangalore, that sort of team. You know, obviously after their shocking start, they're always a team that can go on a bit of a streak. They've got the players to do it, and they're doing that right now. But yeah, Kolkata, I mean, they've got a lot of work to do now.
Yeah, for all the RCB fans watching, that's one question in their mind. Can they still do it?
What have they got? They've got 8 points, 3 games left. They get to 14. I think it's still very difficult. There are some teams which are better than them or playing slightly better than them, even though they've had 3 wins. Never say never, because they can get on a roll, but in 2020 cricket to win 6 games on a trot, I think they've done it before once.
Yes, they have. Yeah. But
Won't
they started
be
off well that season.
Yeah, so they had a couple more wins before. So
yeah,
they'd be hoping RCB. But very difficult to get that 4th spot, because looks like the top 3 at the moment more or less sealed.
Are done. Yeah.
And there are a couple of teams ahead of them on points already, so might be tough, but you never know. So all they can do is try and win 3 and see where they end up.
Yeah. What makes it really tougher is the fact, apart from just winning all your games, you also have to rely on what the other teams are doing. The likes of Hyderabad, Kings 11 Punjab, what is it that they end up doing? We'll quickly now finally take a look at our Fab 4, the fantasy league that we've got going here between Sean Tate and Ajit Agarkar. These were the picks by Ajit. We've gone with Chris Gale, Mayank Agarwal giving him points, Virat Kohli, Navdeep Saini 40. I'd say it's a very even, steady sort of performance.
Yeah, but I think there was one guy who was enough to beat that. I think AB de Villiers tonight.
Yeah, there you go. You're right.
There you go. Finally had a victory. Partey was good too.
Yeah.
Sean
Tate is either bowling in the 120s or he is hitting 160s straight up. Okay, there's a clear winner in Sean Tate, as we had a clear winner in Royal Challengers Bangalore. I say that because 17 runs is a rather big gap in T20 cricket. Ajit Agarkar, Sean Tate, thanks so much for joining us. You were watching ESPN Cricinfo Match.